Now let's move on to our next invited speaker, Mouhssin Ait El Mouden, researcher Faculty of Letters, Ibn Tufayl, University, Morocco. His expertise includes PhD researcher specializing in applied linguistics, principal of International School in Casablanca, ESP practitioner at EMSI Engineering Institution, academic expertise in language education and curriculum development. His today's topic is language policy shifts in Moroccan education from French to English in private and selected public schools and the emergence of international curriculum models. So with that, let us welcome Mouhssin sir.
Hello, everyone. Do you hear me, Mr. Deepak?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much for welcoming me. It's a great honor for me as well to participate in this international conference where we exchange our expertise and where we take different experiences from different contexts from the world. I'm going to share with you the screen so that you can follow with me my presentation.
Ma'am, can you please take out your screen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
here you are.
Yes, sir, we can see your screen.
Yeah, thank you. So, my presentation today is about language policy shifts in Moroccan education from French to English in private and selected, some public schools in the emergence of international curriculum models. And before I start, I would like to put you to share with you the outline of this presentation so as to cope with me. I would like first to start with the historical context, which means the colonial language legacies and post-independence policy, so that we can go through history in order to understand why Morocco has adopted French as the co-official language of the country. Then the statistical context, which means empirical data on language use in Moroccan schools, and policy drivers, which means the the policy decision makers, political, economic, and social catalysts for the English turn. Why should we adopt English as an official language of Moroccan education? Then we have private school pioneers, which are the first schools who adopted or that adopted the international curricula in Morocco, IGCSE, A-level, and international curriculum wave. Then public sector reforms, pilot programs, bilingual schools, and state initiatives. Here we will see how many schools, state schools we have here in Morocco that adopted the international curricula. Then challenges and implications, teachers, equity, identity, and sociolinguistic tensions. Then the recommendations for the evidence-based policy proposals. In the Morocco's context, linguistic context, as you know that Morocco is characterized by its complexity and diversity of culture and languages as well. Here we have the population. We have 37 million and more and plus of the population, urban, rural, bilingual continuum, and we have 70% Darija and Amazigh speakers. Then we have two languages which are official in the Moroccan constitution, and the co-official language, which is French, the de facto language which we use in our educational system, mainly for higher education. and 6,500 private schools, some with international curricula, but not more. Here, Morocco exists at the crossroads of Amazigh, Arabic, French, Spanish, and increasingly English, making it one of the most linguistically complex contexts for education policy in the MENA region, which means Middle East and North Africa. Amazigh and Darija dominate home communication, while modern Standard Arabic is the official language of instruction in public schools. French functions as a de facto academic and professional lingua franca, and English is rapidly emerging as the preferred language of global opportunity, which is now being embraced by the majority of young people here in Morocco as well. And the historical context, so that we understand the relationship between Morocco and French language colonial legacy to language reform. Here we have from 1912 to 1956 French protectorate, which means it's like it was not an official colonialism. It was a protectorate. Then from 1956 to 1970s, independence and Arabization, which means the movement of Arabization in Morocco. Then from 1980s to 2000, here we have Arabization expands and French persists. Then from 2000 to 2015, we have National Education Charter. Then from 2015 to 2019, we have language law debate. Then in the 2019 to up to now, to the present, we have a vision of 2030 and the English turn. And each one of these we have, for example, in the first, going back to the protectorate, French protectorate, post-protectorate period, we have French language embedded in governance, education, and elite institutions. Then the second step, or the second period, we have post-independence Arabization policy, which means Moroccan Standard Arabic in primary education, and tension between national Arabization and French dominance in higher education. This is the most important period from 1980s to 2000. Then in the 2000 Charter acknowledges multilingualism. English gains official curricular space when it is from 2000 to 2015, which is just the beginnings of adopting English in our educational system, because we had only French. Then we have from 2015 to 2019 again, here we have controversial law 26 and 16 reinstates French in science teaching, public backlash here, and 2019 up to now we have strategic pivot English as a key global employability and international education. Okay, let's move on to the statistical context where language of instruction in Moroccan schools. Let's see here. We have Arabic only as schools by medium of instruction. We have Arabic only, which is Standard Arabic. It is used in its percentage is 48%, whereas French and Arabic 27%. Whereas French we have 13%, English as a medium of instruction 7% in both in higher education and some Moroccan schools that adopt international curriculum, while bilingual it is 5%. For example, in here we have growth of English medium schools and candidates. English medium private schools, and we have IGCSE and A-level registered students. From 2005 up to 2024, we have, just a slight growth from that period to now, because not only it is a very heavy educational system to be installed here in Morocco, so that to have A level and IGCSE, it's not just a simple thing that we can adopt overnight. Then drivers of the English medium shift. We have globalization and labor markets, which are English as a global academic lingua franca. Moroccan graduates competing internationally. And here we have Euro-Morocco mobility agreements, which means the agreements that we have between Morocco and the European countries. Then we have economic policy, which means Moroccan economic policy, vision of from now to 2030, National Industrial Accreditation Plan, IT and BPO sector demand for English, and tourism and finance sectors. Then in higher education alignment, Moroccan higher education institutions adopted Moroccan English programs. Here we have again Bologna process and international rankings, Erasmus and bilateral scholarships. They always need English. Then parental and social capital demands, which means parents now are eager to have an international curriculum that distinguishes their sons and daughters from the normal things that we have in Morocco, which means they want them to have an open vision towards the world instead of just being or just getting the same knowledge as their parents had already in their childhood, which means they want them to have another training, another vision, to be open to the Western world. That's why middle class aspiration for British and international education, perceived prestige of English medium schools, and private schools marketization. They do another, which means another marketing that attracts some middle class families in order to join international schools. Here, private schools as pioneers of the international curriculum wave. Here we have international curriculum market share in 2024. We have Pearson Edexcel for IGCSE and A level, which is 28% of the program, and French baccalaureate, which means the French system in Morocco, it is 20%, and Cambridge curriculum, it is 34%, and IB program, which has 8%, and hybrid national and international curricula, which is 10% here. Pearson, Edexcel, International, and IGCSE and A-level. Fastest growing qualification in Morocco's private sector, approximately 280 Moroccan institutions registered as Pearson centers as of 2024. Strong employer and university recognition. Here we have, and again, the Cambridge, long established in elite private schools, offers Cambridge primary to A-level pathway preferred by schools targeted UK university placement. And here in Cambridge, we find the majority of schools have that slogan and the logo of Cambridge in the front, in front of the school, whereas they have just language testing, not language program, in which they have the international program as like STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics are taught in English. No, but just English language testing. And international baccalaureate, it is niche that growing, associated with schools targeted multilateral diplomatic families, emphasizes inquiry-based and multilingual pedagogy. Here we have public sector reforms, selective English integration. Here we have STEM bilingual pilot, which means 20 public lycée. With lycée here in Morocco is where we have A-level internationally, or where we have high school in some countries. Introduced English medium science teaching, mixed results due to the teacher shortage. Here in Morocco, we have had an experience with a high school which is called Moulay Abdullah. It is located in Casablanca, where all the scientific subjects are taught in English, but we're not working and we're not adopting the international curriculum. It is the same French curriculum, the Moroccan French curriculum that is translated, which means it is just a transferability, which means it's a translation of the content into English, not the translation of methodology, or we have a different methodology from that textbook to the other textbook. Then we have regional excellence schools, l'école d'excellence in Moroccan. Here we have in the Moroccan Ministry of National Education and the American Development Agency collaboration, and STEM in English for top performing students, which means it is still ongoing. And in 2020, we have COVID and digital acceleration. English language EdTech platforms adopted, catalyze demand for English digital literacy ongoing, and for the Mohammed VI Polytechnique University model public, which is a public higher education institution, adopts full English medium instruction, influence spreading the secondary feeders. Here they study, it is located in Rabat, and they study the BA, which means the bachelor degree, the master's degree, and the PhDs in English. All of them are in English, 100%. Then in 2023, National Pact for Education and Training, PNAF, new framework recommends English as mandatory from primary grade 3 in targeted regions. In progress, here we have student performance, international versus national benchmarks. We'll see here plus 14.5% IGCSE versus baccalaureate in 2023, and plus 10.5% A-level versus baccalaureate in 2023, and trend all qualifications improving post-COVID. Here.
Excuse me, sorry to interrupt, but we request you to please summarize your key points as we are nearing the time. So please.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. I will do.
Yes.
I'm about to to recap.
Sorry.
Yes. Here we have again pedagogical challenges. As I said, just to give you a recap on the pedagogical challenges that we have here in Morocco to shift from English to from French to English, is that it's a shortage of having teachers who are able to teach scientific subjects in English. This is why we have this. And the same in here, sociolinguistic implications. It is all about the teachers who have given trainings in Arabic and French, and they are required and they are requested to teach in English. Then analytical framework, language policy as social practice. These are some theories that go back to, and some findings that go back to the teaching of or switching from language to language. Here, evidence-based policy recommendations. I'm going to recommendations, then I will finish with conclusions. National policy. Here we have develop a national English as medium instruction framework, establish regulatory standards for English medium schools, teacher certification, curriculum alignment, and bilingual accreditation protocols. Here, teacher education, mandatory English as a medium instruction teacher certification, introduce a national content and language integrated learning, which means CLIL, certification pathway within centers, which means it's like the centers of teacher trainees that we have here in Morocco. We have CEREMEF and INES. And equity and access, expand international curriculum to develop schools, scale up STEM English pilot programs beyond urban centers, introduce digital IGCSE, aligned modules in rural lycée, which is high school via e-tech platforms and language rights, protect Amazigh Darija in transition pedagogy, which means adopt mother tongue-based multilingual education in early years before transitioning to English medium instruction, and higher education alignment here articulate school university English pathways, create formal progression routes from IGCSE A-level to Moroccan public higher education institutions, and eliminate qualification mismatch that forces schools abroad. Then the conclusions that I came up with are Morocco's language in educational context is undergoing its most significant restructuring since independence, a shift from French dominance to an English medium paradigm driven by globalization, economic policy, and middle class aspiration. The second one is private international schools led by Pearson, Edexcel, and Cambridge curricula are the primary vehicles of the change, with public sector reform lagging far behind, which means we still need a lot of language policy and syllabus and curriculum design so that we can apply that on public schools. The shift produces both opportunity and equity. It opens global pathways for urban elites while risking the further marginalization of Arabic Amazigh and rural learners in other parts of Morocco. Teacher capacity, policy coherence, and equity of access are the three critical bottlenecks that must be addressed if Morocco is to harness the English turn without reproducing colonial style linguistic stratification again. A rights-based, evidence-informed multilingual education framework, one that affirms Darija and Amazigh while strategically integrating English offers the most sustainable policy directions. Here are the selected references, and thank you very much for having given me your time, and if you have any questions so that we can discuss.
Thank you so much, sir, for that wonderful presentation. Thank you so much.
Any questions, please? No questions?
So, sir, as there are no question at this moment, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're most welcome.